Welcome to Wednesday, the 24th of January, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help people create online businesses around their passion, their skill set, their hobby, whatever it is they're interested in, and they've got knowledge and experience that they want to share with other people. Help those people move forward in their lives and get paid doing it. So I want to share with you today a little advanced strategy when it comes to an online business. I know a lot of people who watch my lives every day are more at the beginning when they're thinking about leaving a 9-to-5 job, or when they are in a job that, or in a business they own that feels like a job. But this is a little bit more advanced. And I'm only sharing this because I've just come off a podcast interview earlier on today with the US. So I was doing an interview with a person who has a podcast out in the US. And I was going through my thoughts on how maybe I could share what I've learned with podcasts. This is really more about the other side of podcasts. I don't myself in my business yet anyway have a podcast. But I know that a lot of people would like me to have a podcast, but there's more of a focus on other things at the moment. But podcasts are brilliant for your business, but they do take time and they do take effort. And you've got to be in it for the long haul, because it's not going to generate the results that you're looking for normally quickly. It's a long haul part of your business. But I want to look at podcasts today from the other perspective, which is getting on other people's podcasts. Now, this is super important if you want to grow your business and get in front of a big audience. So if you're just starting out, probably my advice to you would be just to focus on more that warm reach into your warm market on a one-on-one basis. So going into the people that you know and you've already got connections with, people who are already your leads, who are already, part of your community. Getting interviewed on a podcast is more you in front of many people, but doing it into a cold market. What I mean by that, it's somebody else's audience. So in the case of the person I was doing the podcast for today, it's almost certain that probably 99% of the people who listen to this episode of the podcast will not know me. So it's going to be cold traffic. So it's great in a respect of you can get in front of lots of people who don't know you and then start building that traffic from cold traffic into warm traffic. It's fantastic. But, and these are the three things I want to share with you today. There's three important things that you need to bear in mind. One, you need to really have exhaust your warm market and looking at getting into a cold market and getting into more advanced strategies. But let's assume you are. Number one, have a strategy for podcasts. Just like, I've talked about this last week, having affiliate programs, having partnering programs. I see so many people today who are doing affiliate programs as part of their business, which is great, but they've got no strategy around it. And it's all just haphazard. Same when it comes to podcast interviews. And that was me. Even up till last year, at the beginning of last year, it changed early on in the year when I saw the opportunity. But I was just doing ad hoc podcasts for anybody who wanted to have me on their podcast. I would do an interview with them. And it didn't generate very much results for me. And the reason why, in most cases, there was a desire for me to get on front as many podcasts as possible, but there were audiences that were just not aligned with what I do. So number one, make sure you have a strategy for getting on podcasts. So that kind of segues into number two, which is make sure that the podcasts that you do get involved with or start getting opportunities with are aligned with your audience, meaning they've got an audience who you don't know, they're co-market, but they're interested in your particular topic. So for me, I'm helping people leave a 9-to-5 job, or helping people who've got a business that feels like a job and get online. So I'll be looking to get in podcasts who have got an audience who are kind of like that similar type of audience that I'm looking for. And that for me was a real big thing that is now part of my strategy this year that I found out from all of the previous years that I've been doing podcasts. So I want to pass that lesson on to you. If you are looking to get in front of cold audience using the interviews on podcasts, which is brilliant, make sure that you're doing podcasts with people who've got an audience that's aligned with what you do. So that's number 2. So strategy number 1, audience number 2, and number 3 is make sure, like you know me, it's all about, I think this is a throwback from my corporate days, so please forgive me. It's all about the metrics. You have to measure everything. So it starts with, before you get in front of the podcast or get on the podcast, know what their audience is like. How many people subscribe to it? How many people download their podcasts? How many people have they got in their audience? That's the first metric. That's just a given. If you're looking to get in on a podcast, make sure you know what those metrics are. And if you don't know, go and ask the person who wants to interview you on the podcast. Go and ask them. They should have that data. And then when the podcast is then aired and released, make sure that you're actually then tracking the numbers of the people who are watching the interview and finding ways to be able to follow up with them so that you can start generating a movement from the cold traffic, that audience that didn't know you, to people who will know you. So those are the 3 things. If you're looking to get in front of podcast, or you're looking to get on podcasts and being interviewed, fantastic way to get you in front of many people. 3 things. Number 1, make sure you have a strategy in your business to do that. Don't just do the odd ad hoc podcasts. Getting late in the afternoon here. Don't do just the odd ad hoc podcast. Make sure you've got a strategy in place to do it. Number 2, make sure that you choose a podcast who's got an audience that's aligned with what you do. And number 3, make sure that you are measuring, knowing the data, knowing the metrics, and actually measuring it. So hopefully that's been helpful for you today. It's just really an insight into a more advanced strategy. I know, as I say, a lot of people who watch my videos are beginning the journey or thinking about beginning the journey out of a 9-to-5 job and getting online, or they've got a business that feels like a job and they want to get online. So apologies for that. I know this is a little bit more advanced, but I think it's important that you're aware of these so you've at least got something to aim for. But certainly for me now, it's really helped my business enormously getting on interviews for podcasts. Hopefully that's been helpful for you. If you want to know more of those kind of things and you want to be part of my weekly newsletter, I'll put a link below here. I talk about all these things on a Sunday when I come into your inbox as part of, what is it now? Since I started last year, over 5,000 people are now part of my newsletter, just for that particular newsletter that I put out. So if you want to be part of that, I'll put a link below and I look forward to seeing you this Sunday in your inbox, helping you with the strategies and tactics to build an online business. Wherever you are in the world today, on this Wednesday, have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.